those guys. I feel bad that was their first job. But it happens, right? Like if you're a young engineer, those things are going to happen. So make sure that it's an experienced team. Make sure that they have a CTO that actually has experience building companies. You can vet that kind of thing. Make sure you can see who backs them financially, right? Do they have money in the bank? Are they going to be around longer than you are? That's very important. You want to make sure that they're going to be around. So even if it's venture backed, make sure that they have the right sort of structure behind it and that they disclose. Call their customers, get case studies, like call customers, do it. When you put an inbound phone call in, I tested this the other day with some of our competitors, and I had fun with it. But like put an inbound request in, see how long it takes for them to respond to you. If it takes 2.5 weeks and you still haven't heard anything, you know, like those are the types of things that make a good company in any industry, whether it's cannabis or not. And so do the, vet the company a little bit and make sure that they're a good partner for you, because at the end of the day, in cannabis specifically, it's a tumultuous ride. The market is changing drastically, regulation changes, the financial markets are changing, we have elections coming up, who knows what will happen, right? All of this stuff is really hard for us, in addition to the fact that you're trying to build a business, which is also really hard. And so make sure that you find a good partner that you gel with, make sure they can speak the same language you can. You know your business better than that vendor will ever know it, but if they catch on, if they're interested, if their founders are coming out to your site to see what's going on because they're just curious, that's probably going to be a better partner for you than somebody who you can't get service access to at any point.
I agree with everything that they're saying, but my company actually is a little bit newer to the industry. But one of the things that we do, we're always on site. You can contact us directly. We're technology background, so the entire team is all software all the time. And we partner with large-scale technology providers that do some pretty massive websites and technology deployments. But yeah, one of the things for us is a lot of our competitors are going to install software and hardware in your facility that you're going to have to manage and make sure it has proper security and that no one's able to get into that box versus everything is cloud for us, so we're managing on top of Azure. We have all of the built-in securities from a cloud provider. We don't have to worry about someone hacking your local computer that you put password as the password. And stuff like that. So, how much are we taking off of your plate from a risk standpoint? What technologies are we using? What is our background? Those are all great questions. Surprisingly, people ask us for referrals all the time, and I thought that was strange at first. But I love when people ask me that because I can give them our clients that have moved off of other technologies, and I can say, who are you evaluating right now? I might have someone that actually was a customer and switched, and they can talk to you about the experience, and we'll just connect you directly. It's not like I'm speaking on their behalf. Call them, talk to them directly, get a few of them, and see what they have to say. That's really the best way. I think a lot of people get sucked into contracts before they're actually ready for them. That's the other thing I would say is be flexible. Don't get into bed with anyone too soon. We have free offers, so you can use all of our technology for free for an entire growth cycle, so you can evaluate it locally, see if it actually makes sense for you before you pay anything.
We touched on a lot of big things, people, testimonials. I think data for sure. There are a lot of big claims and maybe some unproven claims in the cannabis market. So just get people to back it up. Oh, that's a big claim. Show me. There's a lot of data available too. There's multi-state operators who have multiple locations. If somebody buys in our world, right, the best thing that someone could do for us is, once they run on the platform, they come over to a Vitalis extraction machine, and then every expansion going forward, that person's putting in more equipment, right? That's an investment in this partnership, but look at who are they working with, and are those people continuing to work with them? That's usually a very strong endorsement, but get those testimonials, talk to their customers, figure out where they could, how's their service team, because things change, problems come up, things break, and you want somebody who's going to be there to support you.
Hardware is easy too, because you can just go look at it. That's a nice thing. Go look at the hardware. Yeah, touch it, see it.
So speaking of someone there to support you, let's find a question in the audience.
What's your
Let's hear it once again for the panel. And,
Does anyone have any questions?
Somebody has a question.
Someone's got to have one question. No? How do I get onto the internet? What's the Wi-Fi password? No tech questions?
Yeah, tech panel. Oh, there you go. Lori.
Can you turn it on?
Could you introduce yourself and say what you're working on?
Hi guys, I'm Lori. I'm working on a new packaging startup. It's called Ink Bright. And we're working on a platform to help people create compliant packaging in a safe and sane way. And I have to say, so far it's been a little bit of a struggle to attract tech candidates. Here in the Bay Area, it's a problem in general, but then you add on cannabis, and I think that scares some of the tech candidates away. So I'd love to hear how you've built out that tech team.
The question is, how do you build out a tech team when some of the tech candidates are scared off by cannabis?
It's like a caper flick, right? You got to go from scene to scene.
I would say talk about mission. Like one of the things that we do above all at our company is we created a set of core values that are important to us and how we operate as a business. And we leverage that every single time we're hiring, right? So we push out our core values everywhere, and we talk about them as often as we can, and we interview against them, and we just sort of embrace this, we have a mission as a company, we care deeply about it, and yes, of course, we want to make money for our shareholders and everything like that comes with running a business, but like at the heart of it, the why we do it is just as important, and how we operate often falls in canon to the why we do it. And like, you're gonna find people, there's a room full of people here who are interested in the cannabis industry, right? And we're in the Bay Area, so presumably some of these people may be looking for jobs. If you're looking for a job, it seems like somebody's
she's looking for engineers.
Yeah, well, if you're an engineer in the room, you're looking for a job, right? But like,
There are people in South Bay who would totally work.
yeah, it's like people are gonna be passionate about packaging.
You need to party more at the right parties.
But talk about the why you're doing it, because the more often that you talk about the why and not just like, hey, we're hiring, and it's hard to compete on salary in the Bay Area because everybody's paying, $120,000 for a new entry engineer. Like, instead of talking about things that are hard for engineers to be attracted to, if you're only selling what are you doing and why are you doing it and how do we operate as a company, and you're selling yourself, frankly, as like the founder, right? And then I'm going to be, as a candidate, really attracted to, wow, that's really interesting. Maybe I wasn't super passionate about packaging, but I love cannabis, and so we can find a way to work together, or I'm really passionate about both of those things, and you'll get those people.
So are you a solo entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that's one of the things that is actually difficult. Solo entrepreneurs, it's not actually about cannabis, it's solo entrepreneurs. You have a difficult time attracting teams. So if you can find a co-founder who is, I don't know if you're the technical person or you're looking for a technical person to be the co-founder, I think that you will have an easier time pulling in engineers, because a lot of times once you have a technical founder, they actually have teams that they've worked with before that just love working with them. And so that's what I did. I actually went out and found my extremely well-seasoned, hardened, like old school IBMer who designed, anti-money laundering software for the FBI and the Department of Defense, and designed transaction systems for Wells Fargo and Bank of America. And he was, hanging out at fintech meetups and things like that. And so in the Bay Area, meetups can be a powerful tool for you actually to find people who have those core interests. And almost everybody in the Bay has fantastic chops in terms of like engineering and computer science. So going to those places and having a co-founder with you so that they see that it's not just you. So it doesn't feel like they're taking as much of
You may have to go to that party to meet the co-founder, though.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Just advocate more.
Exactly what I did. And it's again, like you say, the passion has to be there. The underlying story for why you're doing this has to be there. It has to be really important, and you need to be talking about grander vision. But it's one of those things that is much easier for people to get around when they start seeing multiple people that are on your team. So they're like, oh, this is real.
I hate to cut you guys off, but we are over and out of time.